A couple days late on this, but I thought I'd give my thoughts on the Goblin Slayer getting to Season 2 announcement, which, well, first off, I want to say it's about freaking time. And there's an article on this by Buying the Comics that I would like to talk on. But yeah, first let's read the article. G.A. Bunko, the publisher of the original Goblin Slayer light novels, has officially announced that the series' anime adaptation will receive a second season. After a noted period absent of Goblin Slayer-related news following the premiere of the series' first film, Goblin Slayer: Goblin's Crown, the eponymous hero's return was announced on January 31st during the live stream hosted by G.A. Bunko in honor of the publisher's 15th anniversary. Alongside Goblin Slayer's return, the publisher also revealed 2 new pieces of teaser media, including a brand new key visual. That looks good. And a recap of the series' main party members present in the form of a short trailer. The series was originally created as a light novel by author Kumo Kagyu and the artist Noboru Kanatsuki, follows the exploits of a man known only by the titular moniker of Goblin Slayer as he seeks revenge against the race of monsters that massacred his village. Quote, "I'm not saving the world, I just kill goblins," end quote, reads an official synopsis for the series provided by Crunchyroll, where the series' first season can currently be viewed. It adds, rumor has it that in a certain guild in the middle of nowhere there's an extraordinary man who has climbed all the way to silver rank just by killing goblins. At the same guild, a priestess who just become a new adventurer has formed her first party, and the man who ends up rescuing her party, and that party, when they get into trouble, is none other than Goblin Slayer, or the Goblin Slayer. Unfortunately for fans excited for the once again embark on adventures filled with danger, magic, and goblin guts, release date for Goblin Slayer's second season was not announced during the live stream, and that's about it. And I'm excited for this. I really am. I don't really know what it is about Goblin Slayer that makes me like it. It's kind of like Shield Hero in a way. I have no idea why I like it. I just do. Well, actually, no. Part of the appeal was originally it was a middle finger to the Puritans of the world. Well, no, actually, no. I found out about Goblin Slayer because of those idiots, actually. Which is, I don't know if I said that in either of my Goblin Slayer videos, but yeah, I probably did. But that's the only reason I know about Goblin Slayer, because they made such a bitch fit about it. And I would have to admit, and I'm surprised I didn't hear any controversy about this announcement. Like, oh, they announced that rape fantasy or whatever. Because these people don't watch it, they just bitch about stuff. But anyway, that's not the point. Main point is, it sounds exciting. I am a little nervous about Crunchyroll being involved in all, because I think they were involved last time, and well, now they're owned by Funimation and Sony, and I would not trust them as far as I could throw them. So if they have any involvement with Goblin Slayer, then I would worry. Maybe. But if it's the same people who made it last time, I think it'll be okay. Or at least I hope it'll be. And I think that might be all I can really say, other than I look forward to seeing more of the adaptation. I mean, I know it's going to happen. That's the downside to reading the manga in advance. You know what's going to happen. But I hope they can do it long enough to where they get to the Harvest Festival. That was a good bit of a story, and it was also kind of funny. Seeing Goblin Slayer having to interact with all those women at once, well, when it was their turn with them. Which was also kind of funny. It was also kind of funny to see the dynamic with Cowgirl's uncle. And yeah, just also some funny antics with the Spear Hero. But I won't spoil all that. If you want to, I would recommend reading the manga or the light novel, because if there's one thing I've learned, there is so much whenever they adapt something to a manga, they have to cut out so much. That's something I learned from Jobless Reincarnate. Before I did this video, I spent the last couple of days going back to it because of the anime, and I ended up getting 2 of the light novels. Turns out the light novels aren't as far in America as they are in Japan. Yet, I noticed how much was cut out from the manga and I wish there was more put into the manga. That's the only downside about mangas. There's a limit to how much they can put in, or there's a limit to the time they have available. And there's so much I wish they could have added to that manga, because it's a good manga. If you have not read Jobless Reincarnate, I recommend reading it. Just as much as I recommend Goblin Slayer, because both are great. Goblin Slayer I think is a better... Well, no, I can't really say which one's better. They're both great in their own right. I mean, I still think Shield Hero and D. Greyman are my favorites, but they're kind of tied for second or third. And actually, another appeal for Goblin Slayer for me was always seeing him just go on these adventures against the goblins, because those goblins are parasites. I mean, they are to Goblin Slayer what social justice warriors are to me, except they haven't killed my family yet. And there's a reason why I call them social justice goblins and jackasses. Well, actually, no, scratch that. That's not why I call them that. But anyway, I just think this is exciting news that I would do a video on, just to announce it, especially for Goblin Slayer fans, because I have to imagine there's a lot of them. Because usually when there's an anime and it causes an uproar, it does really well. So there must be quite a couple of people, a large number of people who are happy about this, like I am. But I would be surprised if there wasn't a shitstorm about this, though, in the future. Because I remember when Shield Hero announced it was getting this, when they released the trailer for their next season, well, sort of a trailer. It was kind of just, I think it was a recap of everything they did the last season. But, the media is still pissed about Shield Hero, so I have to imagine they're still pissed about Goblin Slayer, which is going to be funny, because I remember that was my reintroduction to anime in a way, and anime-related memes, or that's when I got fully invested in it a little, because there were all these good memes about Goblin Slayer, like, how they were always comparing it to Guts from Berserk, or Doomslayer. Lots of good memes came out of that, which was great, because one of the articles I saw was that showed the article where it said Goblin Slayer is probably one of the most edgy animes out there, and in this meme it showed Alucard, Guts, and a couple other people from edgy animes laughing their asses off. Goblin Slayer is not that edgy. It's like the first episode was edgy, I will grant you that, but that was tame compared to what happened in the manga. In the manga, it was way more worse. And they showed more, I think. Well, I think they did. I remember with the Goblin Lord, some of his backstory was shown. They didn't show as much as they did in the manga. And I don't even want to know what they showed in the light novel. Like, I really don't. It would probably give me nightmares. Yeah, I'll read it anyway. What the hell? But, one thing I am worried about, though, is we're seeing this restriction on anime now, so I'm wondering if by the time Goblin Slayer announces when the second season will come out, if that'll have made it, if the Puritanism will have gone so bad in America they won't bring it here. That means I won't get to hear the dubbed version, because the dubbed version, it was okay. I liked the sub version, but I prefer hearing stuff in English. But if I have to, I will just stoop down to watching the sub. I mean, I do that for Vinland Saga. I can do it for one of my favorite animes of all time. And favorite mangas of all time. Starring one of my favorite protagonists of all time. Anyway, yeah, those are just my thoughts on it. Sorry for that ramble. But, if you are a fan of Goblin Slayer, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you aren't a fan of Goblin Slayer, same goes for you. I'm interested to hear what people have to say on this. And that's really all I can really say, other than I hope this anime does well. I hope Funimation, Sony, and Crunchyroll don't fuck it up in any way. Because if they do, I will be so pissed. Because I still don't give them money, but I find ways to watch the anime. And I don't encourage pirating, but it happens. I'm not saying you should sail the seven seas, but it'll happen. For some people, it will happen. So that probably doesn't encourage them to listen to people like me. But anyway, besides all that, just have a nice day. I hope you enjoyed this news. And remember, the game was rigged from the start.